we're out on the road this morning. It's a little loud because we're by the highway going over the bridge again, but it's like 50 degrees this morning, so had to put on long sleeves, and yeah, it feels really nice. So going out for at least 5 miles today, and it's still early. It's around 7:30 probably right now, and I'm off from work today, so we're gonna just kind of hang out. We'll probably go hang out on Main Street for a little bit, and then we'll see what else we do today. Now it's a really nice view this morning, so I'm glad I came out here early when it was only 55 degrees probably by now. Feels much cooler than the 90 degrees only a couple weeks ago, so it should be interesting how the next few days play out when the summer heat hits, but I'll take this any day for the time being. Well, hamstrings are a little tired from the track work the other day, but overall I felt pretty good. So just on the hills, having not done really any speed work for a while, the hamstrings definitely hurt going uphill just a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. Definitely feels good to be back doing track work, and to still be able to go for, you know, 5-mile run now and feel overall fine. No real complaints or anything. It's just so nice out. I don't want to go in yet. Breakfast with a view. So with the track workout yesterday and then running this morning, it was one of the first times I think in a little while I felt like my legs really kind of have some of the life back in them from kind of before 2020 when I took some time off and there was no racing. And it just made me think about, like, I guess kind of back to how I got started with running longer distances and things like that, and like the journey that it takes to get there. I didn't think I could run long distances at all. I just kind of assumed, oh, you know, I'm 220 pounds and when I'm in shape, there's no way I could ever run a marathon or a half marathon or anything like that. But once I graduated from college, I just started running casually on the weekends or throughout the week. I was living out on Long Island, about an hour from the city. I would take the train in, get home late, and just go for a run like 2 or 3 times a week. And then we moved into the city, and it just started becoming a thing where I was like, okay, like I'm going to run the marathon. I'm going to run the New York City Marathon. How do I do that? How could I run like under 4 hours? Like, I think I had like an uncle who ran it under 4 hours, an aunt who was running it around 4 hours, and I was like, okay, what do I have to do to get there? So I just started kind of running more frequently, trying to get up to like 20 miles a week. It was still pretty light, you know, in comparison to what people do to train for a marathon. And I didn't get picked for the lottery because most people don't get picked for the lottery for the New York City Marathon. But I knew, like, once I was living in the city, there's a 9+1 program where you can race 9 other New York City races throughout the year, and you get a guaranteed entry for the year following. So when I didn't get picked, I was like, okay, I'll do the 9+1. But I also saw that there was a race that was a 60-kilometer race, so 37 miles, just looping around Central Park over and over and over again. So I kind of just signed up for it. I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run 37 miles. And again, like, this was still coming from a mindset where not too long ago I thought I couldn't run a long distance at all, you know, let alone like a quicker long distance. So I just started putting in the training and just doing miles after miles after miles, running, you know, almost 5-6 days a week at that point, running up to 20, 25, 26, 30-mile long runs at that time, getting ready. Started to have an issue with my IT band a month and a week out from the race for the 37-mile race, and just kind of took a month off. And the week before, tried running again, got about 8 miles before my IT band started bothering me. Took the rest of the week off and just went out there and raced 37 miles. So it worked out. And from there, I knew obviously that I could do it. And it started turning into more of a habit where I was like, okay, I'm going to train for marathons. I like doing this long distance running. And it just built off of that. And I started training more. I started working with a running club and kind of preparing for the New York City Marathon the next year by going through some coaching sessions, starting to learn and work on speed work, and getting to the point where I could run, 8 minutes a mile for an entire marathon. So that was kind of the journey, like 3 years, I guess, in the making for when I started running more consistently. And I've just been thinking about it because after 2020, I started to get frustrated when I was running and trying to come back to running, and I thought like, oh my gosh, I completely ruined all the training from before. And you start going through that frustration again, like I can't even run 9-minute miles for quite a while, and I'm starting to get out of breath, my heart rate's spiking. So it just reminded me of like how long of a journey it is to kind of work your way up to running a race like a marathon and get back to that, wherever you want to be, whatever your goal is. It definitely takes a lot of time. And I just kind of remembered and reminded myself of that today when I have been feeling better. I was running 200s and 400s around, like under 6-minute mile paces now. So, that's about where I was, and it felt pretty good. Obviously, I'm not there yet. I still know I'm not as in shape. I'm heavier right now, so it'll get better. It'll get there. It just started to feel good again, having the legs feel like it wasn't a struggle to get up and down the hills out here, to feel like I could do some laps around the track without being completely out of breath and really just gliding through the workouts, just cycling through rep after rep. So it's a good sign, and feeling good today, it just again reminded me that it's a long road. So there's a lot more work to do, but it's a long journey. So anybody out there who's just starting to run is getting frustrated, how come I can't break 10 minutes a mile for my easy run? I'm out of breath if I go faster than 10 minutes a mile, or whatever it is. I don't know, but it's just a long journey. You got to stick with it, and you got to kind of push out all those mental frustrations and mental blocks along the way, and recognize that it's just a part of it. You're going to have good days and bad days. Some long runs feel really good, some feel really bad, and you just keep working through it. I'm excited now. Got that fire kind of burning again. Everything's rejuvenated, re-energized, and ready to go. All right, so it's actually the next day, but we ended up going out to the baseball game over here for a single A team that's like the Yankee affiliate last night. So it was a fun rest of the day after my run yesterday. Had a lot of fun at the game. It's really cheap. It's like $15 to sit behind home plate, and it's just for fun. There was like $3 beers and things, so a little something to have and enjoy before training begins. But I have a few clips from that, but other than that, that's how he finished out the day.
Officially open. Welcome back to the Dutch.